Okay, more news. You know, I'm trading the news here, but I don't really look at the numbers, but I'm looking at the numbers here. It looks like unemployment claims are down. It doesn't mean anything, right? So now that should be what? Good for the euro, bad for the euro? I'm just trading the euro dollar. I don't know. Is that good or bad news? Current account, I don't know what that means. Now the core price index is inflation. Inflation's down, so that's backfiring. The Fed wanted inflation. And this number here, who knows, right? Unemployment claims, because people, even the hobos, can live on the street now, right? So, you know, why even apply for a job when you can just sleep outside now? It's nice out. But we're waiting for this big Philly Fed. I guess this is a big red one, 10 a.m. So what I'm going to do is I'm trading this, still trading this demo. I haven't blown it up yet, which is a big record for me. Definitely something to be proud of. I haven't blown it up, but I am buying on the retest here of the if it comes back. So I put in this 15-minute script here. The buy is pretty heavy, but I'm definitely a big seller up here. So what I did was I wrote these 4-hour scripts, because if I'm not here for this trade, I really don't want to be having to babysit all this drama. You know, we all know when it goes up 100 pips, it has a likelihood of selling off 50 pips. So I don't think, you know, if you lay in a basket of orders, you know, you're going to pay more in spreads and commissions, but you can kind of just set it and forget it. Technically, you would make more money if you were to trade if you're going to make 10 to 20 pips on each trade or more. I think you'd make more money because you're spending less money on commissions and spread. So I load this thing up with I'm at 24,000, so I'm trading in these 22 22 size, $22,000 per position. And this is a pretty generous, I actually never did the math on this, but I'm trying to use at least a 20 pip stop on each ticket. I'm just laying in a whole grid of tickets that I can walk away from. And this is not an EA, this is just a trade plan. And then I can create, say, a 6-hour version of this. So I typically would save as. So if I save this as, I can rename it and stretch it out to 4 hours. So it's going to sell if I'm not here in 4 hours, should I have to go, rob a bank or something, right? Something that would take me some time. I'm going to have to stock and the bank and everything. So I'm going to make this, I'm just going to turn this one switch, and if I did nothing but just make this into a 6-hour order and wait an hour to drop it, it's going to place that whole grid in a different position, and it's going to have 6 hours of exposure. But I figure if they can take this up 200 pips, by the end of the day, who doesn't want to scalp the top of that? So if this has kind of an embedded scalp plan built in here, then we can build to the market, and we can curve fit it. We can lay a curve in here, so we sell, the higher it goes, the tighter we start selling it. And so now that I've set this, and look up on the top here, and I see that that's a 6, so I have to change this to 6, and then I'm going to change all these notations to 6. And typically I write in here whether it's a limit order or a stop order, just so I can keep track on the platform of what trades really make more money. And the limit trades seem to make more money because as the market plunges into that bank, it's typically going to retrace some bit. Whereas stop entry, if you laid a stop entry 100 pips away from where we're at, you're probably going to get, well, I guess you could, I just feel like you're going to get trapped in that trade. In other words, I guess I could keep following through, but I kind of want to be in the market managing my risk if I'm going to trade like that, if I'm going to trend trade, right? So this is kind of a spike into the top of the world here. And so just make all these the same, and you can even write something here and I typically make this red, but for this instance, because I'm just messing on a demo, it's not real money, and it's not. You spend a lot of time editing these things. You don't really want to. So, but I am going to go deeper. I'm going to go for the 150 pips above, and I'm going to start at let me start at 900. So this is going to take everything from 900. I'll just do it in like 5 pip increments. When we get to like 10 pips, right? So let me get to this number. I'll go 13 here, and then I'll try to just shuffle it like when you tune a piano. You can't tune it perfectly, so you have to just kind of. Okay, so we get 800, right? And then we'll go to. And let's just stretch this up into 70 and make this 70. Make this like 50 or something. Stagger these guys, and now here's my stop, and I can make the stop like kind of liberal here. I'll give it like 20 pips there, right? So my stop, as long as this number is above this number, the script should run. Now here's a mistake right here because this is too tight a stop. So I'm going to hard stop it at 1600. And then I'm going to copy that up as far as I think I can afford. I have to put a shelf in here, kind of like a filter, like an EQ filter. We'll want to put this at 13. So we'll give this thing a little room to breathe. And then, take profit side, I'm going to make this top one a scalp, kind of a scalp, take 20 pips off the table. And this one, let's make it a little more money on that. We'll take 30 or something. Let's try to be conservative there. And then these guys, I'm thinking maybe 1,000 even, and then we'll just have it. So as it falls off here, if it fills the first spike in 80 pips above where we're at, you got a 20 pip stop, you need to at least make break even or better. And so when you're doing a scalp, you can't always do that because you don't want to get, you want to, if it's a high probability scalp, you certainly, initial entries always have a wider stop than you want, and you can always adjust. So you have to figure out how much your worst case scenario stop is. So here it's 20 pips. And if I look to make 20 pips, I have to put this at 60 above where the fill was. It's kind of complicated, but I mean, when I first looked at it, not being a numbers guy, I was kind of ultimately confused. But as the market spikes up into this sell limit at 80 pips above current, when you drop, you immediately have this stop 20 pips above, and if the market should pull back 20, you're going to get cashed out here. Now, if I can make this 50, this will make more money, and then it keep this one at what it's at, because it'll make, of course, here you're risking. So if you do all the numbers on that, I'm not going to really go that far because, like I said, it's a demo. I'm not going to waste my time. Some guy said time management in some chat room. I got time management. I'm like, yeah, I know. Who doesn't? Okay, looks like the euro's still going up here. So I'm not going to chase it as we go up here. I guess I could be on the 5-minute right now scalping, but it doesn't matter because this is basically, I think we could come way up here. And actually, I forgot to rename this the proper range. So this should actually say 1,500, but like I said, I don't care. I'll see it land on the screen, and that'll let me know. So I'll compile this puppy, and then let's see if it shows up on the list under the 6 hours. I did change the time, and it is not really a 5K. It's like a zillion K in here. But I always think that you should have the title of what it does. Here's your, this one actually is not the stop. This is where it starts filling. In other words, it fills a range from 75 pips above where we're at to 125 pips with a hard stop, 25 pips above. And those things make a ton of money. I mean, if you're not here to babysit all these antics that these markets go through, because we know if a market spikes up 200 pips, high probability of a 50 pip pullback or 100. So why worry and fret about the news and all this garbage when all it is about price? It's literally like telling the guy at the Porsche dealer, listen, when that Porsche goes on sale, before you call anybody, here is a check for whatever, 28 grand or 50 grand. Here's my check for 50 grand. In fact, here's my money order for 50 grand. If the price drops, you don't even have to put up your sales signs and spend any money. You just fill me on that. If you have a pending low price order or high price, right? You want to be like the first to know when everybody loves that car so you can liquidate. And you don't need to know when people are going to think it's the best car in the world. You just have this pending resting order to, and this is like very passive. This is like as boring as owning real estate. But this is a way to quote, professionally trade or trade that fit your lifestyle, right? If you can't make it to the platform, just drop these guys and set them on W1. It lasts a whole week, right? And you can always move them around, but make sure you don't drag the stops or the take profits, or you'll destroy the risk-reward ratios that you built into this thing. Okay, so it's all compiled. Let's see if it shows up on the platform. We'll launch this puppy. Try to capture the swing high on this euro dollar today without having to babysit these damn moves. And this is the same size as this, so I have duplicates here and they're layered. So if you can imagine the market going all the way up there, this is actually, like I said, I got to rename that for how many pips that is, but that's going to sit there for 6 hours. You mean to tell me that if they bid that up, these are 100 pip handles on here, I think. If they bid this thing up, you think they're not going to rip that back? I mean, this is stupid, right? This is the dumbest way to make money there ever was. And I know everybody wants to think, well, which way is the market going? Who cares? Why would you even care? Like, look at all this garbage. Does this make any sense? Does that make any sense? They're ripping that thing up and down 200, 300 pips. They keep on poking it up, poking it down. So 80% of the time, you should be making money because 80% of the time it's doing this. It only did this for a little bit. But look at all this sideways before any big move, right? I mean, we can all agree that here's a run, chop, here's a run, kind of a chop, and then here's just chop, 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 right? So what do I care, right? And then the same thing on the buy thing. I got this. I should write a deeper one. It would look like this. These are 1Ks, so I know all these actually, the ones I haven't rewritten in here. Like here's a monster. I had one called Bigfoot. Here's one called the Super Bowl. Now this lasts all day, and all this thing does is get in down here. It's a retrace, and I call it Super Bowl because it's going to buy here. Let me drop it on the 1 hour so you can see what that looks like. And the idea here is that it's going to get in down here, but not only is it going to scalp here, if you see my blue take profit, but inside here, it's actually going to cash out. It's supposed to cash out above where it got in. So not only did it bounce, but like a Super Bowl, it overbounced. So it's a retrace. It's a 200% retrace from the point of plunge entry. Now I'm going to get aggressive on this thing because I want to put in this 50 pips north on a 4 hour. And right now it looks like a right place to get in. I'm just kind of hitting this like canvas style because it's demo, right? I mean, I'm not going to sit here and worry about it. But the beauty is, once you convince yourself that this thing works, you can take it to the real market. You can always run the demo. Some guy in the chat room said that he doesn't run a demo because that's like for, whatever, sissies. Or people that, I'm like, well, you got extra time, you're in the chat room, open a demo. If your stuff really works, you should be able to make money anywhere. Plus, you can trade the demo, you can abuse the demo. It's like having a fake wife you can beat up, right? And then the real wife comes home and you're like, hey, honey, how's it going? Thanks for how's everything at work? Yeah, I just beat the hell. I'd have a mold of you that I just beat the crap out of just before you got home.